I'm so excited that we've got a special guest, Joey Sheldon, who is here with us today. And she has an amazing background. And I'm really excited to learn. Not only is she an author, but she's a professional actor. She's been an acting coach. She's learned and studied and taught improv. And she's got a whole world of education and experience and wisdom behind her today. And she's joining us today to have a conversation with us kind of about the tough stuff that we've found ourselves trapped in as we've tried to declutter and de-hoard our homes. So please help me welcome Joey Sheldon.
Mhm.
Joey, how are you today?
I'm very good, thanks.
I was really excited when I heard that you were going to come on our show today because of the wealth of experience that you bring to the table.
Mm.
And I'm hoping you'll share with our listeners a little bit about how you arrived in this situation.
I was an actor and acting teacher, and actually, before I was a teacher, when I was in my 20s and trying to be a movie star in Hollywood and failing miserably, I had an epiphany one day that I was not supposed to be miserable. I came from a pretty unhappy family. I was out on my own. I was very young and naive. And I went on a path of searching to find out why are we unhappy as people and what makes us more fulfilled. And so it was a long journey that ultimately led me to understanding a lot about emotions. I was a very emotional person, but I was always willing to really feel my feelings, no matter how difficult they were. And that always benefited me. So eventually I brought that into my acting work. I quit acting. I came back to it. So it's been a big journey, but it has been that connection with self expression and understanding why we're here as human beings that has really motivated me.
I have a question about emotions, and I know you wrote the book on emotions. I would love for you to share with us about that. But my question is because emotions are really tough to take a look at.
Mhm.
And you said you were okay looking at your emotions. And that is a really tough thing for a lot of people. So how did that work?
It is. And it is the number one thing that stops us is that we have so many messages about don't feel bad, feel better, buy this product, do this thing so you don't feel bad. And so we have this languaging around emotions that labels them as negative, a lot of them anyway. And what I've discovered is that emotions are a part of our innate being. They are a biological information system. And by biological, I mean, how do we know we're having an emotion? We feel it in our body. We feel sensations. And you know the difference between sadness and anger because they feel very differently in your own being. So, my ability and willingness to feel my emotions helped me to understand what was going on. And I did a lot of education and workshops and read books and went back to school eventually to learn even more. And I've come to understand that our resistance to them is because we have beliefs and attitudes about emotions that tell us, well, anger is bad and fear means you're weak and shame is really terrible. You don't want to feel shame. So we resist feeling our emotions. We're either in denial about them or we avoid them. And I think that's one of the issues around clutter and hoarding. I was the opposite. I was a perfectionist. I had to have everything perfect in its perfect place. And that was my own a way of kind of coping. So we have behaviors that are coping mechanisms, only they don't serve us because of the fear of, oh, if I feel that, it will mean something bad about me, or it will be too painful or too difficult to handle. And so my mission is really about educating people in a way so they understand your emotions are bringing you information that's crucial to your actual well being. So I view all emotions as positive. It's our inability to handle them and deal with them and utilize them that causes a negative result. It's not the emotion itself.
Well, thank you so much. I am so excited that we had this conversation today. And like Joyce said, and I'm going to really recommend that you get a copy of this book. I will leave links in the show notes. The chance for us to improve is worth the price of the Audible book and the book itself. And I don't want you to go through life and say, "Oh, I was so close. There were some solutions and I chinched out and I didn't get them." So don't do that. We have one question. And so the question is, how do you find good therapy for hoarding?
I like somatic therapy. body-based somatic therapy. That's what I actually recommend. And there's a lot of ways to find a somatic therapist.